Good evening. I hope everybody's doing well out there this Thursday evening. Ugh, Mama Candy's doing good, but just exhausted. I'm tired. Oh man, today was crazy. It was busy at work today. I was like, I'm getting a glass of wine. At first, I wanted to come home to cook, and now I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be cooking tonight. No, not tonight. I told hubby. He says that's all right. He's going to have pizza rolls tonight. I said, okay, okay, because Mama Candy ain't cooking. Not tonight. I am tired. I said, I just need to relax because I'm getting back up early in the morning again. And it's gonna be a long day. I can get up by 4:45 in the morning and go straight to work earlier than what I want because I have to get things ready. Today, man, whew, I mean, I have some potato salad yesterday from leftovers. I used yesterday. I made it with pico de gallo. I mixed it up. I mean, the same similar symptoms. Saying symptoms. Oh my gosh, I'm not at work. Symptoms. I mean, same similar ingredients. Oh my gosh, I'm still in work mode. I have to get out of the work mode, you know? Same similar ingredients, but it has cilantro and lime in it. That's the only difference. And tomato, of course. Normally, my potato salad, I make it with celery, um, onions and peppers. I put what is it in there? And relish, and I put eggs in it. But I'm trying to stay away from the cholesterols as much as I can, so I didn't put egg in it, and I didn't have celery. So the difference is tomatoes. Yes. Oh, hold on, I'm on the live stream. Want to say hi? Hold on one second. He's probably want to show me something with the squirrels. Hold on there. Hold on one second. Yes, Booba. I'm coming. Yeah, it's a good idea to get for the Keurig machine. That or my charcoal grill that I like, the charcoal electric grill. I want to get that. I don't know. I think my mom got one. Oh, that's what it's called? Active. Let me know what the price is on it. I'll cook dinner tomorrow. I'm gonna make the chicken tenders that's in there. I'll probably some mac and cheese because I figure we're gonna spend money anyways while we're out. We might as well stay in and cook tomorrow. Ugh. Boy. Okay. All right. Excuse me. So, my husband was showing me something. That's weird. How the heck did that do that? That's strange. How did that screen move like that? That was just so strange. It like somehow it slide over. I don't know. But anyways, my husband was showing me something with something for my Keurig machine to clean it out, and I said, I gotta look to see what the price is. But back to what I was saying. So before I get to my glass of wine and some music, just talking about some things I was reflecting on my thoughts of the day. Um, yeah, so I make the potato salad like that, but this time I made it with pico de gallo, which the difference was it had tomatoes in it, minus the celery. It had the tomatoes, it had the lime juice and the cilantro. So you mixed it in. No egg. I took the egg out and I threw it into the potato salad. Put some mayonnaise in there. I didn't have no $1,000 dressing, but that's okay. So then I put that in black pepper, some salt, a little. I don't know if I put paprika on it or not. I think I did yesterday, yeah. And I mixed it in and some relish. That relish, you got to have that relish in there. So I mixed it in. It came out so good. So I'll have a little bit of that tonight with some salad and cranberries and feta cheese and some walnuts. You know, maybe a piece of chicken. I don't know because I have some chicken left over from 2 days ago. Well, maybe I don't know. So that's that. I made that. I'm gonna have that tonight. I'm not cooking tonight. Mama Candy needs a break. I had a very, very rough, busy day today. It was just constant. There was no breaks. I couldn't even eat lunch. I couldn't even put a spoon of soup in my mouth today without a phone ringing or some patient coming out of the room or anything today. It was that busy. Plus the insurance I went through. Oh, that was the worst today. The insurance company. Oh my gosh. They had me yelling and screaming at them. I mean, I was between like the third party and the insurance company and fighting, and they were trying to screw the patient over. I got the pre-cert for his procedure, but they are very slick. So how where you have to have a place of service, right? And they have different codes that you have to go under, right? And the code that we had to go under, they purposely excluded it off of there. And I said, you guys know what you're doing. You're trying to get away with not paying a claim when he gets the procedure done. I was yelling at them. I was talking to supervisor. It was ridiculous. And I had a patient in front of me as I was fighting with them. And it was just all over the place. I had like it was like 5 calls coming in at once, patient coming out of the room, patient calling for me out there. Doctor, hey, I need your help with this. It was something, oh my gosh. And then I was putting them on hold and then trying to take care of this patient. It was insane. And I mean, finally they found out what they were doing. I said, you're trying not to pay. You're trying to screw the patient over the bill. And they were like, no, that's not what's happening. What it is that we excluded it. And then what I did was I got their name and a reference today. I said, okay, what's your name and a reference? You're the supervisor. So what you're saying is that you excluded off this plan. That's why I didn't appear on the list. Right. Okay. And you're going to pay this claim, correct? And they were like, yeah. And I said, oh man, I was on the phone for like maybe an hour, just fighting back and forth they were playing Ringing Around Rosie with me. I wasn't having it today. So now Mama Candy's getting a glass of wine. I was at first I wanted to cook. When I got home, I said, "Baby, don't even think about me cooking." So I told him out there, I'll cook tomorrow, make some chicken, maybe side of mac and cheese or something. Just not tonight. I'm not doing it tonight. Mama Candy needs a break. My brain is fried. That's why I'm over here talking about ingredients, but I said symptoms because I'm still in work mode. My mind is all over the place. Oh. But towards the end of work today, this thing is hard to pull out. Even though, there it goes. Gotta be careful. I need to poke my eye out. Gotta make sure I put 5 ounces because I can't have no more than that. Let's see, 5 ounces. Make sure I don't go over. All right, that's good. That's good right there. All right, we'll make sure that's 5. Yep, that's 5 ounces. We don't need no more. All right, so I'll just put sips at a time in there. And the good news is I know I mentioned that, my doctor is going to be retiring. And oh boy, his wife, the boss, she was crying because we all formed like family there. It's different. Like this is a different kind of job. Like, we're all like family and bonded. We know each other for so long, but she wants to still get together, hang out, still, even after retirement, she wants to still get together, my boss, and hang out with us, during his retirement party and keep in touch. So I don't mind it, because we formed such a great bond. We're like family, just taking little sips at a time, This is like what, 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces. So that's what I'm doing to trick my brain to make myself think I'm having more than what I am. So, take a sip. So good. So, and this is like a 9% wine, so it's not like the other wines that are like 11% alcohol. And I can have 11%. It's just this one don't, but it tastes so freaking good. That's why I buy it. I won't be drinking wine tomorrow because I'm gonna be taking a laxative, a natural laxative, prune juice and hot coffee. There you go. So I won't be drinking no wine tomorrow. So I'm like, I might as well have it tonight, and tonight is a good time to have it. But she wants to still get together. But the good news is that, the doctor put a good word in for me and the other coworker that I work with, Jen. So, he mentioned to his buddies there at the hospital, he's like, "Yo, my girls are loyal. They've been with me for so long that we stuck it through the thick and thin." And we did. We worked hard on short staff on 3 people. We were down. We started off short staff, and then one person goes off for like 4 to 6 months, and we're like working our behinds off, doing like multiple jobs. We never gave up. I walked out. So, he was like, they have a good reputation. They got like 12 years experience. He's like, these girls are awesome. You should consider hiring. So they're saying most likely they're going to hire us. If we come and ask to come there and look for a job there, our name is all over there at the hospital. They're like, just like most likely we're going to hire them. They come to us, we're going to talk, and supposedly someone's coming there next week and they want to meet me at the job from the hospital. So I don't know what their name is or what they're affiliated, or if they're the boss at the hospital. I don't know who they are, but we'll see. I don't know yet because there's different options. My sister works for a company. She's a nurse, and they're looking for people, medical assistants to hire there as well. So I don't know. I know the hospital has different branches like primary care offices, and that's outside of the hospital. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just leaving it in the hands of God. Is it going to be that I'm going to go unemployed and go to school full time to become a nurse? I don't know. I don't know the whole game plan here. It's really in the hands of God. But I'm just thankful to even know that I have this opportunity, that I have a boss, that two bosses that I work for that really care about us and really look out for us like that. So I'm just thankful. It's a blessing. It was a blessing working here for the past decade. I have to say, this is like one of the best jobs I've worked at. And so, I understand that all things have a beginning and an end. And I understand this person's nearly 70 years old. They can't be practicing in a job forever. They got to go out and travel and spend time with their family. They sacrificed a lot of years. So I'm going to miss them. I know we're going to be crying, all of us, when the last day. I'm like, oh boy. But we'll see. We'll see what happens after this. I'm sad. I have like a bittersweetness, but I'm also excited at the same time. A lot of mixed emotions. So yeah. And I'm gonna miss the good laughs that we have every day, because we're all fun. Like, we all laugh. That's all we do when we go to work. It's crazy. We'll be stressing, and then we'll get off the phone and we'll just start laughing. All of us will just start joking around, cracking jokes and laughing, and then we have the patients laughing. And so I'm gonna miss that. I hope that the next place we work at, the staff members they're gonna be the same. Like, I hope that we can find that kind of common ground again wherever we go to find work at again, me and my coworker. I hope that we can find that with another staff members, but we'll see. I don't know. you know get comfortable, and you get attachment with people, and this was no ordinary like work kind of relationship. It was like family. It's different. you know but yeah, anyways, that's about it. I'm supposed to be going away Saturday. That's why I'm doing that laxative tomorrow. Because I don't want to go on vacation and take a doo-doo on the toilet while, at another place. I don't feel comfortable. I hate going to poo-poo in places that is not my house. I don't feel comfortable about it. I don't know about everybody else, but, I need to be in my toilet, and I really just don't want to go poo-poo while I'm there, I don't feel comfortable because, like, I feel like, especially you don't have a plunger. Let's say, you stunk up the toilet, right? You take a doo doo and you got big poops, large poop fall in the toilet. I mean, you got to go out there and look for a plunger. Like, hey, you got a plunger? It's like, oh yeah, oh, you need a plunger? Yeah, need for the toilet. you gotta be embarrassed. So I'm like, I want my stomach to be cleaned out, and I don't want to go to the place and have to take a doo-doo, and the doo-doo's big. If I clean myself out, the chances of the doo-doo being big is going to be smaller. Oh my God. Oh boy. I don't know. This is the stuff that rolls through my mind when I get ready to go on vacations, especially if I'm with a lot of people. This is just with my husband, but I'm still nervous about the idea of taking a doo doo and big large the turd comes out, Mr. Hanky comes out, and the next thing you know, I gotta go get a plunger, and I want to be like, hey, I gotta need a plunger real quick. Most people are using a plunger because they got that toilet stunked up, and I don't need them I don't want people knowing my my business. Because and I hate that when you go somewhere, they don't have a plunger near their toilet. And I don't feel comfortable going poo poo then. And especially if the bathrooms is close by where people can hear and you hear your business. I don't like that. I don't know. My friend and her daughter's the same way. They don't like, when to go, they don't even like going to the bathroom at Wawa, even taking a piss at Wawa. So I remember one time we got in the car and, she was with her daughter and her daughter's like, I got to go to the bathroom. I got to pee. Can we turn back around? And we were like 10 minutes on the road. She's like, oh, why did you not do it before you left? So let me turn around. Because they don't like peeing in public bathrooms. They don't even like to do that. I don't know if it's a social anxiety thing or it's just, because they do have social anxiety, especially my friend. It's just flares up out of nowhere. But she also, she just feels like she has OCD and she's very funny about cleanliness and she thinks like people's butts are rubbing up on the toilet seat. So she don't want her butt touching the toilet seat. So they're very funny about that. They don't like that. They think of like this person with a greasy behind sitting on the toilet seat, squeezing out something. And then they get up and they got a stinky, what between their legs and peeing everywhere. And then next thing they wipe the toilet seat real quick. And then it's not disinfected. They just think the craziest things. And you know what? I hate to say it, but it's true. People do that. They sit on toilet and they just wipe it off real quick to pee and nobody knows that they peed on it. And you're sitting on their funk, So, they're very funny about that. Me, I don't sit on toilet seats. I actually stand up on toilet seats. So if I go to pee in public, I stand up. I kneel over like a rabbit. I never sit my ass on the toilet seat because my mother taught me from 5, 6 years old. You go to the bathroom. I don't care what you're doing. You kneel over. You don't sit on the toilet seat. Even if you got the papers they put down, I don't even sit on that. Unless I see that you actually clean your bathroom and I see somebody coming out cleaning the bathrooms really good, I'm not sitting on the toilet. No, no. But I'll just I have very strong legs and thighs, so I'll be all right. No. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I was like, I'm clean myself out tomorrow night, take a hot coffee and prune juice. That stuff will wipe you out. And if you throw Miralax in there, woo, you'll be in that bathroom. Yeah. It's going to get your stomach for sure. Hot cup of prune juice and hot cup of coffee. Drink it back from back. And if you put some Miralax in there, you really going to be going. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do the Miralax. I'm just doing the prune juice and the hot coffee because that's good enough. That thing will wipe your stomach open. And Saturday we're supposed to go away to the mountains, me and my hubby. And so I had to change my hotel room because I booked this hotel a month ago and it looks beautiful on the pictures. You see the nice outside area, it's a stream and waterfall coming down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks beautiful. So you know what happened? Something urged me to go and look at the reviews, right? Because you know how they show the reviews. And so they showed the first 5 reviews that were nice, right? And it was, oh, this place is beautiful. Looks so nice. It has a balcony and everything. We had a stream side, view and everything. The king size bed. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go. Needless to say, look under, you're on booking.com. And this is not on Booking. This is on Expedia, TripAdvisor, Google, whatever. I looked at so many reviews on different websites. And they hit all these comments, right? Underneath those 5 good comments. And I saw them. It was horrible reviews. It was really bad. They said, of course they're going to pick the 5 good, best photos, but hide everything else. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it wasn't one person. It was so many. It was like over 30 people saying the same thing. It was so many bad comments. I couldn't even get through them all. It was like thousands and thousands. And every one I was going through, especially over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I was looking at the most recent to a month, 3 months, and they all was saying the same thing. First, everybody kept saying how they keep saying the pool is being renovated and is always down all the time. Then I saw the same comments from different people from different months and dates and times and saying that the pool is dirty and foggy and it has a smell in there and it's black mold in it from several people and people were taking pictures. I said, oh my gosh. I said, oh hell no. And I said, jacuzzi is down. So jacuzzi, but I don't even know if I want to go in there because they got black mold in there. Then people, a whole bunch of people from many different times, from now to 3 months ago, saying that the ceiling is leaking yellow water and it stinks, is mold on the walls. It smells bad. It reeks, like smells really stinky, like funky in there, and bad smell, bad odor. And they said, somebody said they sprayed the hallways down real strongly to get rid of the odor and didn't help. They said that the rooms, there was one lady said it was blood stains on her bed. I said, what? I mean, the horror stories. I mean, and they said that the lady didn't switch the bed. She had blood stains on the bed. And the other lady says brown stains on her pillowcases and her bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, from another person, brown stains on your pillowcase. It sounds like dark blood. So what is going on up in these hotels? The one lady said it smells like reefer and weed all in the place. And it smells funky, stinks real bad. And stinky feet. I said, "Oh," and he said, what is this thing? How does this thing come on? Get off of there. I don't know why it come on there like that. It said that, they said that somebody wrote a comment on there that, is dirty in there. They don't clean up. They don't clean showers. One lady said, several of them said that you don't get warm water. Half the time the water's going to cold and it doesn't always warm up and it's cold. The pool water's cold. It's dirty. It's foggy and it smells in the rooms and smells like reefer, like weed all the time. It stinks. There's a lot of drunks outside at night. And one lady said it looked like they was running a sex ring up in one room. And I said, what? Oh, hell no. I said, I don't want to go to this place. I mean, it just got worse and worse and worse. And the comments were similar. It wasn't like, when I say something, I don't mean like, okay, the stories were just the same, but it just sounded very similar. Like everybody's situation, it always seems similar with the smell, the stains on their pillowcases or the beds, dirty, leaking ceilings, the same story from many people. There was yellow water coming out of it, mold in the walls, mold on in the pool, dirty water, pool, cold water, pool always down, being renovated all the time. It was just the same similar stories. And I don't know which one was worse, the mold or the filth, the smell. And it was all just made me feel grossed out. I said, oh my gosh. And the blood stains on the bed. And, the stories it was just ridiculous. They said breakfast, it was flavorless. And the one lady said that breakfast was horrible. And I mean, the breakfast part, it was only one person that said breakfast was bad. But but all the other things freaked me out because I can always go somewhere for breakfast. But when I hear all this stuff, like the place is unsanitary, one person, stay away from this place. Place is scary. It's unsafe. The one lady said she only stayed there for, I think, 2 nights, ended up leaving, going to another hotel. It was bad. One lady complained about a lot of noise and baby crying next door, but I don't care about noise. You know what I mean? That's not what I cared about. I cared about the services and the cleanliness in the hotel. And I said, oh my gosh, I'm booked at this place. And I said, oh hell no. I said, oh my gosh. The comments were going on and on and on how dirty the place was. Leaking still. Somebody says the place is falling apart. Old manager is going. He will never allow this. New manager is letting this place fall apart. And I noticed that there were about maybe 5 to 10 comments of people that said they've been here before and they've been coming here for 20 years or 10 years. And it says never been like this before. This is my first time I've seen it falling apart like this. I'm never coming back here again. And I've heard similar comments on that. So I said, okay, so if they're all saying this, I could see if it was maybe 1 or 2 people saying something out of maybe 1,000 comments. But when you got over more than half of those 1,000 comments saying the same thing, there's something wrong. They're not lying because their stories sound they all align and they sound similar. And I'm like, ew. And I don't need bugs, bed bugs, probably people having sex up in the bed. I mean, blood in your bed. What's up with that? And brown stains. This furniture is old. He says there a lot of people said that the building looks like it's falling apart and stuff is peeling off the walls, and someone patched up something in one of the hotel rooms and they saw it and they I mean, I said, no, thank you. This is the only thing that place got going for itself is the stream side, the rivers and the views. That's it. Other than that, you won't be enjoying yourself there. You're going to feel very uncomfortable. So as soon as I saw that last night, I called that hotel around 9 o'clock last night, calling them repetitively. And then they said the phones don't ring. They were right, because when I called, they kept hanging up. Boop, beep, beep, beep. And I said, what the hell's going on? So I looked up on the reviews. I saw about a couple of them saying that their phones, the phone service sucks. The Wi-Fi sucks. You every time you try to call, no one answers the phone. It hangs up on you. And that's what it did all night yesterday. So then I said, let me go through a different option. Let's go through option 2. And the first couple of times it did ring. It just kept going to voicemail. Then the third time the lady picks up. She was, you could tell she's irritable, like annoyed, like, hello. I'm like, hi. I'm thinking about switching my room. I said, is your pool up? And I was just kind of testing the waters to see what these people are saying is true, because it seems like they're telling the truth, because it's all aligning. I say, hey, is your room up? She says, your pool up. But she says, no, our pool is still down. And we don't know for sure. Maybe call back tomorrow. It may be up. I said, no. I said, me and my husband are driving from Jersey all the way up there. It's going to be a couple of hours. I said, and we're going to, we're not coming out there to sit in the room. We're coming there for the purpose of enjoying ourselves, getting some relaxation and peace, and, and going swimming and stuff like that. You have the pool up, you know for sure or not? And I said, because if so, we don't want to waste our time. And so she says, we'll call back tomorrow. And they know they have a 48-hour cancellation fee, time you're supposed to call. She tries to tell me, oh, if you call tomorrow, say the pool is not up, they'll waive it. No, I'm not. Bullshit. After all the stuff I saw on those comments, I don't trust anything you're saying. One of them on a comment section said it was so bad they asked for a refund, like half their money back, and they had to fight for the money back. It was so bad. So I was like, I don't want to put up with that. I already had one bad hotel experience with Holiday Inn. Actually, I had 3 bad experiences with Holiday Inn, the same hotel. So I don't go to Holiday Inns anymore. Not that their hotels were bad. Their hotels were clean, but their policies. It seems like their policies, they're not very clear on their policies a lot when it comes to when you should pay, when you should check out. So it was just too much confusion. I don't want to deal with them anymore. But this one here, it was horrible. Like, I don't want to come here. I told her, I said, me and my husband. So while I was at work, my coworker, between patients and all that stuff, I was like, can you please help me find a place? So we found a place before it got really, really busy. And I found a nice hotel, has a fire pit. Oh my gosh, beautiful. It has a pool, beautiful looking pool. It has a jacuzzi. It has a nice fitness room because I need to work out. The outside is mountains, is beautiful scenery. And you got a buffet free breakfast. Some of the rooms have a fireplace in it. I got one without the fireplace because I'll be sitting outside near the fire pit. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this looks like heaven. I was like, I got to come here. So I booked up as soon as I could, real quick. And I asked them, I said, is everything up? They said, yep, everything is up, is running. And I saw all the reviews, and their reviews compared to the one that I was booked out prior to was beautiful. They say everybody says it was gorgeous, nice, this is a great place. So I'm like, I gotta come here. So I booked it as fast as I could. And the price is so much cheaper. They're trying to charge me $404 for that trash down, hotel place I was gonna go to. I said, hell no. I said, no. This other place is only $391. I'm getting all this package, and it's clean. The staff is good. I said, you can't beat that. I may not have my balcony, but I'll just sit outside near the fire pit. So, I'm like, no, I'm not going to the other place. The other place, I wanted the balcony, but it's not worth it with all the reviews and the $400 to lose all of those services. And, I'm not coming out there to be annoyed. So, I'm going to go to the hotel that I'm meant to go to, and I can't wait to go because, I booked directly with the hotel person and cheaper price, everything. I think they gave me, I don't know if they gave me a discount, but I'm looking forward to it. So I'll be doing some videos. Maybe I'll stream, and I'm thinking of doing maybe a Bible study tomorrow before I leave. Maybe early in the morning. I don't know. But I definitely looking forward to this trip because I need it. I didn't get a chance to go on any vacations in July and August, because remember I went under surgery for kidney to get give my kidney, donate my kidney. So I didn't get a chance to have vacation time with hubby or my mother and my family. So my mom, so I'm going vacation first with hubby for 3 days, to the mountains, enjoy myself, maybe find a project or something to do out there. And then the 2 weeks after this, then it's going to be, we're going away for the whole Thanksgiving week. And me and my mom, sister, and the kids and the baby, we're going to go down south and have a good time. And, a hotel that we love to go to all the time because there's always good service there and good breakfast. So I'm looking forward to that. I need it. I need these to take this time vacation because once I start the new job, I don't know how long I have to be on there before I can get another vacation. So I have to see. I don't know. So that's just what's been up. So I'm looking. That was my story at that hotel. That it was a nightmare. And if someone tells me about bugs in their bed, forget it. I'm not going to that hotel. I told the lady, I told her the truth too. When I canceled with that woman, I said, yeah, I'm going to cancel with you guys. I said, I'm sorry. She's like, is there a reason why you're canceling? I said, yeah. So after seeing the reviews, it's making me feel uneasy about coming there. I said, I'm starting to have anxiety. Okay. Yeah, I'm hearing the reviews and it's really worrying me about coming there. It's making me not want to come. Me and hubby are now going to switch hotels now. I told her that on purpose because sometimes people need to know about themselves. They need to know like your hotel service is going to go down because you guys are you need to renovate that whole place because everybody's complaining about the same thing. So obviously they're not lying. And I just told her, I said, yeah, unfortunately I can't, we won't be coming. I said, we want to come out there and feel comfortable. And we don't want to come to this hotel now. I told her that seriously, like, I purposely said that because I want them to see the reviews. I mean, if they renovate that place and it looks nice and I see the comments get nice, then I'll think about going there maybe next year or something, but I'm not going there now. I don't need no bugs in my bed and blood stains and brown stains up on there. Maybe they're doo-doo stains. Who knows? I don't want that in my bed. I don't need that. I had the worst visions running in my head, like me, I'm going to get there with our luggage. Open the door, gonna smell some funk blowing out in the hallway, and we're gonna open the bed. Say, oh my gosh, it's gonna be like brown stains up on there and period stains and cum stains. We're gonna have to get those laser lights. Look at stuff. You ever see that when people have those laser lights and they look for like cum stains and different things? You may want to consider getting one of those when you go to a hotel. Especially if the sheets look nasty like that and there's stains and it's dirty and hair and bugs on your bed and and water is cold when you come out of the shower. The one lady said she had to take a shower for 3 days in cold water. Oh no, that's okay. I mean, I had the worst thing running through my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, hubby's gonna be so pissed off at me that I picked this place. I changed it real quick. And you're thinking about, well, did they even clean bed sheets? And you can probably sniff. You're like, let me sniff it real quick. Ooh, I had the craziest thoughts running in my head about this hotel and the bed. And I had a vision that somebody was bumping and grinding in the bed and they were having sex or whatever. And they were like, they were rubbing their greasy behind up in there, like, woo, have running like sex rings or something in there. I don't know. And then coming out, and next thing you know, they didn't change the bed sheets or some lazy worker or something. And I'm like going in and I'm like, hey, hubby, let's go on in. Like, oh, this is nice. And they open the door. And it's like, there's ceilings, got a patch on the top, water looks like it's halfway working. Bed got hair and it smells like ass. And, you're like, what's going on in here? After what these people said in there, that's what started forming in my head. And I said, no, I'm not going to this place. And I said, I don't need an STD or, something forming on me, Uh-uh. Somebody sitting there rubbing their stinky behind and crotch on that bed, and you sitting down on it. You don't know what they got. You know? I said, "Oh no!" And these visions start popping in my head as soon as these people had like big exclamation marks and like their letters were in caps. Don't come here! Don't come here! Don't waste your money! And they had like exclamation marks and everything. And one lady said, "This place is scary," and I said, "I'm not coming here." I'm serious. That's what started running in my head. Then I thought that maybe someone has like crabs on their coochie and is falling off into the bed and they're like running, and and I mean my husband go there to stay the night. We're laying in that bed. I mean, they may come crawl up inside of you. I started having these crazy thoughts. I said, I'm not going to this place. I mean, so that's why I told that lady today. I said, "Look, I'm just starting to feel very, very nervous and uneasy about coming to your hotel." And I said, "Those reviews really scared me, and they were scary." And she says, "Okay." She said she's going to send me a letter through my email confirming I canceled. I don't know if they sent me anything yet because I'm not trying to have them mail me a bill to my house. Let me see if I can see if they sent me an email because oh man, I'm glad I switched. I feel so much better now. That was on my mind earlier. I said I don't need these people sending that to me. Mm-mm. Let's see if I can find it. It doesn't look like they sent me an email. Let me see. Unless they got the wrong email. I'm gonna call them tomorrow and say, did you send it? Because I didn't get anything. But then again, this place is not very up to par, so who knows? Let me go to spam folder. She told me she would send it, and I don't see anything. No, they didn't send me anything. So I'm gonna have to call them. And if they dare send me a bill to my house somehow, cancellation bill or whatever, because they have my address, I'm gonna say no. I canceled this. I have phone records showing that I called you guys. Like, and take that bill and shove it where the sun don't shine. Mm-mm. Mm. Oh, let me take some more. Okay. So this is more like that was like 2 or like 1.5. This is like about 2.5 ounces here. And that's probably like an ounce left in there, or maybe 1.5 ounces. I don't know. It's good. But yeah, I'm glad. I'm so glad that I did that today. I mean, the worst vision I had was with the crabs. I mean, like, bed bugs and running up inside of your Grand Canyon. I'm like, no, I don't need that. So I'm just imagine that you sitting there with a little nightgown on. Sometimes you go to bed with your panties off. I mean, so I think it's comfortable. You don't wear. They actually say it's good not to wear panties on at night when you go to bed. It's because the idea of like that when you have panties on, not that you can't wear them on, but it's just restricts everything. And sometimes, you're not allowing yourself to breathe. When you have those off, you're allowing yourself to air out and breathe between there. Us women, you know what I'm talking about. So so when you're sitting there with a nightgown on and some bug is sitting there, crawling and going up in areas it shouldn't be, I don't need that. Because your place is dirty and don't wash your bed sheets. Mm-mm. Even in clean hotels, my sister, when we go to certain hotels, my sister brings a Lysol bottle and she sprays the beds down before she lays in them. Yep. She's like, I don't want no bed bugs. And she shh. I don't blame my sister, because she don't like the idea of bringing them home. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Nope. So yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh man. I think about that all the time. You know. Mm. Oh my goodness. Oh. And people may think this is crazy, but this is true. I learned this when I was in medical school. When I was in medical school, I had a teacher named Miss Keys, right, for medical assisting. And I remember she told us about trichomonias, right? Because, they talk about STDs, STIs, two different names, sexual transmitted infections, diseases. And so we were in that learning course. So she goes on to tell us about our laundry, right? She said, "So do you guys wash your laundry at home, or do you guys go to like a laundromat?" And I said, "Well, I wash mine in, a laundromat." So she says, "Do you guys dry your clothes?" I said, "Oh yeah, I dry mine on hot. Like I don't want to have no damp clothes. Ugh. And I wash my underwear on hot, and towels and washcloths on hot. I always put those on hot. I don't put those on cold, because you think about it, you know." You are using a towel to clean all the areas and dirt and scum off your body, including your privates and sweat and everything. It's got dead skin cells on it. Then your underwear. Just think about that. All sorts of fluids in that underwear. And you think of all the fluids that are in your underwear, you're going to have vaginal stains, like vaginal discharge. You're going to have men, they have semen, urine stains, because even when you urinate, you're going to have a little couple of drip drops, poop stains, sweaty stains, when you sweat down there, you know what I mean? Your period stains, you know what I mean? Women get their periods, and then like sometimes your body forms, like, let's say you're sweating and, you get little secretions here and there. It happens, So, I mean, you got sweat, urine, seminal fluids, vaginal fluids, like your discharge, what's another one? Period stains and poopy stains and musky sweat stains. That's a lot of stains. You need to put that stuff on high hot heat and put extra 2 pods in there, or extra soap, and scrub those things out. So so I always wash my stuff on hot, and then I dry it on hot. I don't play around with that. So the teacher goes on to ask us, about how we're drying our clothes. I want extra hot. Yeah. So she tells us about trichomonias, right? And she says, it's like a sexually transmitted disease. It's microscopic bugs. And she shows pictures where stuff, discharge was coming out. This girl looked nasty. I said, ew. And, she says, you can catch this without having sex. I said, really? How? And, all the girls like getting all freaked out of class. Like, how is that possible? Oh, at the laundromat. She's like, oh no. I said, what do you mean at the laundromat? It's like, well, that's why I'm asking you guys how you wash your clothes. She says that if you ain't drying your clothes on hot heat, you're not killing that nasty little infection, and it can go into, you can catch that trichomonias from the laundromat. I said, oh my gosh. And I had no idea. That's when I learned about the idea of getting trichomonias at the laundromat. I said, oh, hell no. I'm glad it says you better be drying those panties on hot. I said, oh, I dry mine on hot. That's so So ever since then, I always get freaked out. When I pick up clothes out of the laundromat, I wash my hands like crazy. So when I take the clothes out, especially the panties and stuff, I'm putting them in there to dry it real quick. I'm putting it on high heat. I put it on extra. I want it dry and hot when it comes out of there. Even my regular clothes, And then when I come home, I'm scrubbing my hands with soap and water, because think about it. The people that are using that dryer before you, or that wash machine before you, you don't know where their private's been at, who they've been with. They could have had BV and gone put those panties on and have infections and slept with a man, and it's all this semen sliding out of her is going into the panties, and she's throwing it in there, and you don't know. The bugs are sitting in there, So I got these visions in my head, and I have no choice but to use it, because the apartment complex doesn't have their own, wash machine inside of here. So I'm like, I'm going to just take my stuff, and dry it on high heat, because I always think about that. I don't need their bugs crawling up in me. No. So even my coworker and my friend, they both got themselves, it's like a portable wash machine. And my friend got one because she's very funny about cleanliness. She don't like public places. She gets so freaked out about it. So she's like, oh my gosh, imagine she had period blood in her underwear. She was washing it in there. Oh no, so she, this is the one that don't use the public toilets. So she bought her own portable wash machine and dryer, and it actually works pretty damn good. Your clothes smell good. It dries it out. I think she paid like 200 something for it back a couple years ago. I don't know what price it is now because things have gone up in price. I would buy one for myself, but I don't have no room to put it anywhere in here. I would have to move something out, like my microwave cart. And I don't want to do that. I'll just wait till I move. Yeah, she gets the same thing with my coworker says. I don't want to go to the laundromat where she bought her own portable washer and dryer, and it works really good. She said the clothes come out smelling so fresh and clean, and you don't have to worry about who used it before you, that wash machine, and the dirty crotch, and going her panties going into that washer. Oh my gosh. Oh. So I'm like, you think about it, when I heard that, that's when I got really crazy about you washing stuff and clothes in a dryer. And, and that's why I put everything on high heat, Yeah. So, there's another place I stopped using because they had bugs in there. So I stopped going over there using their washers. So I just wait till people are done washing their clothes here. But so yeah, so that's my story behind the wash machine and learning about trichomoniasis. You can catch it that way if you don't dry your underwear good enough. You put those panties on as somebody who was who had trichomoniasis, and they pulled their panties off, put it in there, and you catch it, you put it on your crotch, you're going to end up catching it. And she told us that. We were freaking out. Like, some of the girls look like they're scared because maybe they were guilty of not drying their panties the way they should have. They say, they have a boyfriend. So, what the fuck you been doing behind my back? So I didn't do nothing behind your back, That was a good thing to know. I'm like, oh man, I had a hard time believing that. I'm like, Mrs. Keys, she scared us half to death in that classroom. Some of the things she was teaching us, She had us all freaked out with our panties and underwears and stuff. We were like, oh my gosh, I mean, just the thought of it was freaking me out. I said, maybe I should just dry it longer on high heat now, Some of my underwears developed holes because I put the stuff on extra hot inside of that wash machine. So I'm always running through underwear because of that, the holes develop because you're putting on high heat like all the time and extra drying it, Oh. But yeah. Oh boy. What was it? This morning on my way to work, before I did, I posted a video on my community tab. And on there, it's a good point. The guy, I put him on here. I won't show his face or nothing because, I don't want to get, it's not my video, but it was something that was true that he said. And it was on his shorts. Let me see if I can find it. It's under Pastor Jason Answers, and he posted 9 days ago, and it says, why do 52 countries fear one book, right? And this is a really good point out, and I'm going to play it so you can hear it, and then we're going to put some.
If the Bible is a fairy tale, why is it banned in 52 countries?
Yep.
Why do people get angry when they hear about Jesus? I don't believe in the Easter Bunny. I don't attack people who do. We don't get mad at them, right? So if Christianity doesn't matter, why are thousands of Christians being persecuted? Why does the music industry mock Jesus but not Muhammad or Buddha? It's like this. If you're lying about something, you want to shut up the guy who knows the truth.
Yep.
People try to pretend that God isn't real. So when Christians reveal the truth about God, they hate it. If you feel threatened by the truth, it means You don't have it. If sin isn't real, why do people feel guilt and shame? If you want to know the truth and you want to go to heaven, watch the linked video.
It's true. That's exactly the truth. If something is a fairy tale, you wouldn't feel threatened by it, nor would you ban it. It's the truth. You know? So, when someone is lying, they feel threatened by those who walk and speak truth. Those who are in the dark are threatened by those who walk in the light. So I like this. I posted up on my YouTube channel. I should post it up on Facebook too. But yeah, that if it was something I wanted to share, this is true. And it's very true. Like anything, like nobody gets offended by a fairy tale because it's just a fairy tale. But people do get offended by one thing. That's the truth. The word of God. A lot, and this is something I thought about after I listened to this video, right? And it's just something I do a lot of deep thinking. A lot of people I've heard over the past, right, say, "Oh, the Bible, it's it's violent. It's offensive. It's violent. And I don't know how you can read that, blah blah." It's not violent. It's talking about a purpose in God. It's talking about history, things that have happened, and God taking justice because he's a righteous God and a just God who takes righteous justice and judgment and wrath. What I don't understand is that we have all this sin in the world and all this violence on TV shows. We got Bad Girls Club, baddies, snatch your wig, and people beating up each other. People watching violent movies, watch Jason and Michael Myers, but guess what? It's all fictional, right? But nobody's banning that. Nobody's sitting back talking about it's violent. Nobody's talking about all this violence, right? Nobody's talking about violence when it comes to justice and defending our country. When the men and women of this country got to go and fight wars, and they got to kill innocent people in the middle of it, on top of babies and all sorts of things that they don't want to have to do. They have to set bombs and affects people's lives to defend this country, to save people, to keep people out, keep people from coming or doing whatever. Right? But we sit here and we thank everyone. We say, thank you for your service. And we should be thankful for the military people that defend this country. But my point I'm trying to make is that nobody's sitting there talking about this is violent. We need to ban military people. We need to ban this fighting wars. We need, you know what I mean? You have to, because unfortunately you got invaders, and sometimes you got to go in and get the things that you need. Yeah, there's different things going on that we don't know about. But it's funny. It's to see the hypocrisy. It's funny now that you can sit here and honor a man, a human being that's flesh and bone like me and you, for defending the country by fighting wars and serving justice, right? And serving their country. It involves bloodshed. But yet a righteous God who is perfect and sinless, we want to sit here and say we're going to ban your book, your word, because it's violent. So doesn't that not make sense? It's very hypocritical. It just comes to show you, like that man said, it's because it's the truth, what's in that book. God is a just God. He's a righteous God, and his justice is righteous. His wrath is righteous. It's perfect. And it's right. So how can an imperfect, sinful human being who honors another human being that's sinful sit here and have the right to come at God and say, "Oh, you're violent and your word and Bible is violent"? Oh, no, this is about God's justice and perfect wrath. And if anything, Bible's full of mercy and grace. How God has always loved us, and he's always never forsaked his people. He's always, even when they served false gods, burned their children alive to false gods. Okay, in the Old Testament, that a lot of people don't read that part. And even then, he still loved them, and he still had mercy, and he still had grace, and given them several chances. But he's also God of justice, righteous wrath, righteous love, righteous judgment. He doesn't sin. So, who are we? And then we want to use the excuse, the book is violent. It has nothing to do with the book being violent. Because guess what? You could sit here and accept violence when it's done in the hands of justice, right? And you could accept violence on TV shows when it's entertaining violent television shows and bad things. But yet, when it comes to the word of God, you want to find excuses. So that's your excuse, because you want to find reasons to ban it. Or you want to say, oh, it's causing problems. Oh, no. Because guess what? The Bible is all about love and grace and mercy. And Jesus dying on here and shedding his blood for our sins. The Bible never tells us to kill people that don't believe in him. He tells us to pray for our enemies. Love those who persecute us. But yet, you have all these religions that are violent and extremists that come out and they're ready to kill you. And they're forcing you to do something. God is opposite. He don't force you to do anything. He gives you a choice. You either accept him, who is heaven, or accept against him, which is hell. And that's your choice. That's what you chose. And that's your outcome behind going against him. That is your fault. You chose to want to be against God, and that's your consequence. He's not forcing you to do anything. It's a big difference. Yet they want to ban this book because, see, this book, this word of God is the truth. And it's also why they ban this book. It's because this is a threat to people who are in religion and tradition, and they want power. So how do people gain power? You know what I mean? Through fear and control. And see, when they see this book, they're worried because, see, this Bible gives you the truth. And it shows you that you don't need to go in a religion. You don't need to go and throw money and do all these works and rituals and work hard to get into heaven, because that's what religion teaches you. But the Bible teaches you you're saved by grace through faith alone in Jesus Christ, not by being a good person, because nobody's a good person. Nobody. See, and that's what they're afraid of. They're like, oh, if they find the truth out in the Bible, guess what? This is a threat to our power, our kingdom, my religion, my foundation I built. Think about it. How much money these people make off of these power and religion and putting you in fear. Talking about you don't go to church, you're going to hell. The fire will burn you. You're going to flick. You see that flick of fire? Whoo! You just imagine when that's all day long on your body. You want that? You're like, no. See, that's not God. That's religion. That's man's tradition. You're gonna wish that hell was fire, okay? Because if you go in a place like that, you wish to not exist, and you won't be able to die. It's a place of eternal torment, a mental, spiritual torment. You chose that for yourself, and God is going to judge you, and He's going to say, "Do you have the blood of my son? You can't come in my kingdom. You're gonna be lost in the wilderness, a place where there's no love, where the worm don't die. You'll never find truth. You'll never find answers. If this world depresses you, just imagine a world without God and no hope anymore. How much worse?" So, something I wanted to share. I thought about the hypocrisy of man and like the excuses they make to stay away from the truth. And then they try to, instead of just telling the truth, I just don't want to hear the truth. They would rather make excuses for it. But that's a good video there. I shared it on my tab. You could look up his page. He's on there. A good video, But I've been on here for 58 minutes. It's 8:26. I'm gonna have some potato salad and some regular salad with some cranberries, because I gotta eat that salad up before it goes bad. I'm gonna drink up the rest of this wine I have left. See how it's like it's a mind thing. Like it looks bigger than what it is, but it's not. And this is how I trick my mind to thinking I had more than what I did. Until I get clearance from my dietitian, I can have 2 glasses of wine. That'd be great. I hope that maybe by the holidays I could do that, because I think I'm feeling well. I did blood work. I look good. But my kidney levels are starting to balance out really good, because when you do give away one of your kidneys, you do lose 25% of your kidney function. And the other kidney grows. So a lot of times if you get like CAT scans or ultrasounds, you're going to notice that you're going to have enlarged kidney. So your kidney is going to be a little large. It's going to be enlarged because it's taken over the other kidney. So it's taking on the job of two kidneys and doing what it does. So me, I have to watch out for how much protein I eat every day. My protein, the serving of protein I can eat can only be a fist. That's how much protein I can have in a day with one kidney without overworking it, preserving its lifespan without having problems. So I have like amount, the fist is the amount of meat that I can have a day. They really promote plant-based proteins like beans and nuts and stuff like that. So I've been trying to do that a lot. Eggs is good too, but because of my cholesterol levels, I can't really have that like that. And the salt intake, sodium, I can't have no more than 2,000 milligrams of salt a day. And I forgot how much 1 teaspoon of salt is. So I try to be careful. I go to Wawa, I can't eat half of the stuff that's in there anymore. I'm like, oh, well, gotta be careful. And if I do, I gotta drink a lot of water, and I can't have anything with salt for the rest of the day. Because I can't risk that, Alcohol right now it's down to only you can only have 1 5-ounce glass daily. I don't drink wine every day. I drink like once or twice a week. And then that's it, And so until my dietitian or nurse clears me to have 2 glasses, I can only stick with what I'm doing. So we'll see. Because I like to get 2 in. I like to get a little nice buzz. I don't feel buzzed right now because 1 is a small glass and it's only 9% alcohol. It's not a one that has 11 to 12% in it. Those ones get me kind of tipsy, mm. 1 glass of that makes me crazy. Really hey, it hits me. So, I don't need to really get a lot. All you have to do is take your time sipping it because you're not going to feel it right away. It's going to come on to you as time goes on. That's how the wine works. A little bit of this. Taking my time sipping this. So this is 1 ounce here. It looks a bit like 1.5 ounce here. Just keep using it up. This is good. But I'm gonna get going. It's been an hour and 2 minutes. Had fun. It's talking about the day and the things that's been on my mind. I hope everybody else is having a good Thursday evening. I will probably do a singing and music stream soon. It's been a long while since I practiced some singing, some music. Got kind of tied up and busy, but I got to find some time to do that when I get a chance. But take care. God bless everybody, and bye-bye.